What up? Jeff here with all my ICP Renegades. So today we have kind of a special video. We are going to look at a lot of different crypto news today. We are going to take a look at some Web3 entrepreneurship. We're going to be looking at the ICP ETH integration, and we're going to be looking at Web3 gaming and the trajectory that they have for that. We're going to be talking about a protocol that is trying to move forward entrepreneurship, which is what we need cross-chain, right? So the vision right now for the internet computer is to become a multi-chain world computer. You hear that all the time, or it's the first time you've heard it. All that means is that blockchains can interact with one another. Right now, it's kind of like a property line with a fence, with no gate, right? So, and it's covered on the top. The fence is completely covered. There's no way to get out of that fence. That is how traditional blockchain works. You can interact inside that fence, but that's it. You can grow a garden in there, just as a kind of picture for you to understand. And you cannot connect that fence with another, gated fence, right? So what it does is it creates like a sky bridge from one fence to the other, except it's not a bridge, it's a direct integration. So instead of like from one enclosure to another, it's not going to be a third party. It's going to be a direct access from one of the gated parties to the other that is directly used with code. So that is the vision, and we're going to get into some stuff that is going to talk about that as well. What is up, everybody? Good morning to you. Smash up that like for me, please. Let's get it up to 50 likes. The last video I did, I used clickbait and a title that would work to get, more people to understand about the internet computer. I'm still bullish on ICP, but that video worked. It only showed part of the title, so I was pretty happy about that. We got 37 likes over there. So if we can get 50 on this one, I see 500 to 700 views, and you guys can help with that just by freely smashing the like button. It's free. You don't have to pay anything. Subscribe if you haven't, and set alerts, because we're going to have the swap on the channel here pretty soon with William Laurent. That's going to be pretty interesting. We're still trying to get Rubaru on the channel, and we're going to be doing spaces with Victor ICP Squad as well. So there's going to be a lot of stuff happening. Our launch is on the 16th for our NFT and gaming. So it's not just an NFT. I want to let you know that it has a purpose in a game that we are building a demo and a full entire game. That could take a little longer, but you will have your gaming piece ready. So let's get into this right now. We have some pretty incredible news today, and I just want to kind of go over this with all of you. Rafael Viana. Sell all my crap, all coin, buy more ICP, Ghost, and Boom DAO. I definitely need to get my hands on some Boom DAO tokens myself. I'm really a supporter of Web3 and gaming, so let's get right into that. So Dominic Williams has obviously a vision for a decentralized metaverse universe, right? And so I think we should actually start using this more in the way that we use the language on Web3 gaming or metaverse. Instead of calling it a metaverse, which is overplayed, just call it a universe, right? And instead of calling it an NFT, call it a skin, because that's what people are used to. So projects create independent, fully on-chain universes. Universes accessible using browser URL. Universes sell teleporter NFTs, or we should say skins, that forward users to other universes. Traffic sharing, internet network peering model. So this is interesting for me. And he's talking about one day Web 3.0 and Web 3 will be all about creating networks. And so a network is going to be able to reach out and, connect with other networks. And that's the whole vision of the internet computer, is to interact not only cross-chain, but throughout metaverses or universes, throughout skins. You can trade skins. Each game that you have, you can use that in another game, so that when you purchase a skin or an NFT, you can use that in more than one place. So you're not just buying it just for the value, you're not just buying it for one game, but you can buy it and use it in that whole ecosystem of gaming. and that's the future. And I honestly at first didn't even know Dominic Williams was like into gaming. I guess he was part of some game called My Monster. And yeah, so this is really cool to see that he's really into gaming, has a huge plan for cross-chain collaboration, in-chain collaboration, and much more of that kind of stuff. So there is another tweet that I do want to go over. It's actually on my profile. Let me go to my profile real quick. Down here. Okay, we'll get to that in a minute. Right here. So this is another one that kind of interested me earlier, and it kind of goes with the entire cross-chain and Web3 gaming stuff as well. So the thing is, with other chains, they say that they're fully on chain, right? And we'll get into that in a minute. So I don't know if he means not bad. The confusion is NB. I don't know what that means, but the confusion isn't surprising. Some blockchains describe Web3 experiences on big tech's cloud services as being fully on chain, which is not. So the NFTs aren't held on chain. All of this stuff is held on either Amazon Web Services or another cloud provider if they trigger lots of NFT transactions. So you could possibly have a small amount of NFTs on there. I'm not 100% sure if you can have NFTs at all, but it can't do a lot of it. And they need to campaign it for the industry to use less confusing language. So according to data from analytics platform Flipside Crypto, Star Atlas's Sage Labs experience has seen over 16 million total transactions since its launch last month. The browser game is a fully on-chain experience with nearly every interaction requiring the user to sign in with their wallet on the Solana blockchain, triggering a small gas fee to verify each transaction. So let me see where his next... Okay, that was just this part. So that's the part that really resonated with me, because there is a lot of confusing, like this, I don't understand. Like, is it supposed to be on chain or not? Like, I know the internet computer is not confusing. All of the NFTs are on chain. Like this, I don't even know if any of them are, or if part of them are, or if they can only do a couple. I don't think any of it, in my opinion, is on chain. It says that they have to sign in with their wallet on the Solana blockchain, but that everything else is held on a cloud service, on a Web 2 cloud service. So it makes it absolutely not decentralized. So, and then he says in the beginning up here, though, I just want to give you some context here. I often explain the internet computer ICP as follows: Web 3, Web to Web 3.0, as a full stack decentralization. So the difference here, if you're not understanding what he's saying here, it's pretty simple. The Web3 as we see it today, which is down here, most of the stuff is held on a centralized server, and it just has the appearance that it's on chain, right? And the real Web 3.0 it's going to be the fully decentralized stack on the internet computer, because everything is on chain, the cloud storage, all the data, everything. So a big challenge is the vast majority of people think that's the way every Web3 blockchain is already doing. And they're not. They're using, a centralized service. What's one of the main points of crypto is to decentralize, right? To get away from centralized authorities, to give power back to the people in the community. So lots of education still to be done, but we'll get there, and we will. I just really resonated with this. It just makes so much sense that it's the appearance of Web3, right? Because it can't really be done on a lot of chains, or basically any chain but the internet computer. So that's pretty interesting to me. So ICP is breaking down blockchain barriers. Again, this is what we are in the internet computer for, is the way that it just smashes through not only Web 2 barriers or internet barriers that can interact with blockchain, but it also is interconnecting with other blockchains, like in a safe manner, like I told you with that gate, and having it like have a sky bridge of code in between it, instead of a sky bridge of like gate guardians, or a Web 2, type deal. or just different blockchains that you can't even interact with. I mean, Internet Computer does it all. It can interact, with web language. It can interact with other blockchains because of the code and the canister smart contracts, threshold signing, and ECDSAs, that kind of stuff. So the upcoming ICP ETH integration is poised to forge a new era of multi-chain collaboration, and that extends to Ethereum tokens and NFTs as well. So I really just want you guys to understand the Internet Computer and how it's different from every other blockchain. You might think with my kind of bearish looking videos lately that I don't believe in the Internet Computer, and I was showing other developer grants, but what I'm telling you is there's a big ecosystem that needs to collaborate with the Internet Computer, and that's why I made that video the way that I did, is because I want these other blockchains to see what I see. I want them to see what Dominic Williams is doing. I want them, to see what Vitalik Buterin, even though he's kind of off the deep end right now, and I don't know what's going on with him, but he saw the potential of a sister network, and look, it is a sister network now. So, and the integration is coming out very, very soon, lunchtime soonest. Okay, so smart contracts navigate across chains with security and ease. There's a built-in firewall because it's a canister smart contract. You don't need any protection, can't be hacked that way. That's the amazing thing about it. So that's about it for that one. I do want to go back to the chat and just see what you guys are up to for a second. Thank you all my mods for showing up today. Clipster, what's up, my dude? ICP simply the best. Via LinkedIn, I noticed that Eva Orbenholzer, Chief Growth Officer, left Definity per 1st of September. Do I know why? Absolutely not. So that can be a question I could probably put out there to some people, but honestly, we've had some really good people leave. Anna Escher was, part of Definity. She participated in the Supernova Hackathon, and she left for another company as well. But, I think people are going to come back to the Internet Computer. There's always turnover in every business. It doesn't mean that it was a bad thing. Anna left in a positive way. There was no bad blood. And I'm pretty sure it's probably the same thing with Eva here. So that's about all the information I would have on that. You could post in the Definity room, but honestly, it doesn't really matter why she left. It just matters how she left, right? So did you know something about Elna AI on ICP ecosystem? That is something I need to write down for sure. Elna. Elna AI. Coming with the heat today. Let's save that up. Okay, I guess I don't really need this on here. Okay, smash up that like, guys. Let's go. First AI on the ICP ecosystem. That is amazing. We're definitely going to have to look at that as a community for sure. So I do want to take us over here for a sec. Actually, we'll go to that in a minute. I do want to talk about this. This man, Justin Bannon of Boson Protocol, he discussed why legacy brands dress up Web 2 into Web 3. This goes perfectly with what we're talking about here, and how the next born will separate fake from real Web 3 solutions. So this is very interesting to see that people are starting to understand, like, wow, most of this stuff is actually done on Web 2. And it's just dressed up as Web 3, right? Instead of actually being a fully decentralized stack like the Internet Computer. And maybe other protocols are going to start following the Internet Computer soon. And this can be, theorized with this this paragraph right here. So this is good news right here. So I do want to kind of read this. As we transition from this bear market and approach a potential bull phase, anticipated to be driven by the forthcoming approval of Bitcoin ETFs and the influx of possibly hundreds of billions into cryptocurrency, it's evident that crypto is poised to gain widespread acceptance. Hey, bro. Knock it off. Brands are eager to tap into this emerging, affluent, and cool market. Now, true Web3 companies will rise. Web3 commerce is still in its infancy, been warned. And so this is true because everything in the Web3 ecosystem is actually Web2 dressed up as Web3. So yeah, we're in our infancy because real Web3 is true. Exactly. True Web3 companies will rise, and also true Web3 companies and true, actually, I should just say true Web3 is going to begin probably in the next bull run where everybody wants to use everything fully on chain. So most of the applications we see are not authentic Web3. Rather, brands have integrated blockchain technology, including non-fungible tokens, but maintain the Web2 business models. These implementations are missing the fundamental principles inherent to true Web3. Also, Web3 washing prevents brands and benefiting from some very special properties of Web3. So assets with Web3 hard property rights are programmable, having rules encoded with the underlying substrate. Think DeFi for commerce, which introduces features such as enforceable secondary royalties on physical products and seamless global settlements. By utilizing open protocol standards on public blockchains instead of private database proprietary formats, assets become interoperable, creating a global digital marketplace for both on-chain and real-world assets. By building with authentic Web3 technologies, applications can be plugged together like finance and commerce, Lego, with hard token assets flowing reliably across the extended ecosystem. Think DeFi across finance, commerce, and the whole Web3 economy. So decentralized finance will run commerce. It can run gaming. You could have a decentralized financial marketplace that also has like a gaming type deal built into it. Like that's the future of integrating everything into decentralized finance, because you could end up making a game, putting it out there, and then selling it as a commerce in a decentralized financial way. So to consumers, Web3 commerce offers protection from economic exploitation, data misuse, and monopolistic practices, Bannon argues. So as the next bull run unfolds, we will see the crypto community once again emerge as an affluent and financially active demographic. So shout out to Crypto News, and let's see, Syed Fadel Pasik. So shout out to them. I will link that in the description below after the video. And now I want to get into a little bit of price talk, because what we have here is Forbes Digital Assets, and this is a resource that I have not used before, but it has some pretty interesting information. You can kind of look at the community over here, Telegram, Reddit, source code, GitHub, social media. Boom, has all this. So pretty good information over here. But what I wanted to look at is the historical price information, right? So last 7 days, our high is $3.13, low 288. So we've been riding in the same range for about a week, from about 288 to about 313. Then we have our 30-day at 334, which was our big resistance level, down to 288. So our 1 year, it says, is 286. That is still that 287 support level though, but our high in the year is $7.34. So if you hold this for the next year and you're buying at 286, you're most likely, and not financial advice, going to end up back at this level within a year. So we're not going to stay at these prices for very long, maybe a couple months at the most, but then we're going to have a move back up to 5 and then 750, 734-ish. And then our 5 year is $461 and a low of 286. So this is almost 2.5x from there to there in 1 year. So if you bought $1,000, you'd make $2,500 total. And if you bought it here, you're talking over almost 200x, like 190x. So if you put $1,000, you'd have $190,000 if we just go to our 5 year all-time high. And I don't think we're going to hit 460. I think we're going to hit $100. I still believe that. But even if it only goes to $100, you're talking about a 31, 32x, from where we are right now. So that's pretty amazing to look at. And then we have the average prices. I don't know how long this goes. It doesn't say like a time, but we have 290 here. Maybe this is right now. 290, 292, Coinbase Exchange 299, Crypto.com 298, and Binance US 358. So I don't know if that's all time or just recently. So I don't think that's, yeah, okay. Promote stable coins promote dollar dominance and U.S. interests. So that could be why the U.S. is trying to fight so hard to get rid of cryptos, because they just want stable coins and CBDCs. But they could actually help the dollar in other ways that would help people as well. So we still have a circulating supply of 446 million, $1.3 billion market cap, up over 2% in the last 24 hours, and 117 active trading pairs across platforms. So that's pretty cool. Now we're going to go over here and look at the volume. So we've had a nice $16 million in volume. It's a little bit steady. We've been sitting right around 15, and then it starts to go up. The volume increases a little bit, and then 817 here, and then we're going to start to see it go down after this. Kind of, well, I guess it didn't go down a lot. So hopefully we get enough volume to keep moving to the upside. This is good, an increasing amount of volume. It did drop a little bit right here, but then it went back up and then kind of down again. So if we can stay from like 16 to 25 million consistently, I'd even say 35 million would really help us break that 330. But if we can get like 20, 25 million up to 333 and then just get a big day of 40 million, we're going to move probably up to about 380-ish, 360 to 380. So that's what I'm seeing. Now, if we look at this chart here, we are still in this falling wedge right here. The thing is, we've been in a big falling wedge for a very, very long time, going all the way even up to there. So this is kind of a crazy big falling wedge right here. So this level of support at about 270, depending on where we would hit it, from 275 down is going to be huge. Besides that 287 from before Genesis. But this pattern is still, it's oscillating very well. We're hitting a little bit above resistance right now at, let's see, is that 304? Hold on. Okay, we're getting ready to test this resistance at 304 right here. If we can get it back above that, this W has a very good possibility of playing out. We might need, another candle over here first, or we could just go up. This W doesn't even have to happen. We go up to about 320-ish, because our big resistance up at like 360, but it was at 330. Now it's going down as this downward trending resistance line slopes downwards, right? So that kind of pushes the resistance down, and it lets us break it at a lower level. So that's what I'm looking at here, like somewhere around 320, or if we break out right now, it's still going to be right around that 330 mark. So if we wait till next week, close above this 304 by Sunday, then we will be able to go up and test this 362. If we break out of this falling wedge, go back up to the top, we could end up at about 430 if we do go all the way to the top of this wedge. If this breaks out, if this double bottom happens, gets us over here and breaks out, we have double momentum to move to these, at least I would say at least $4, $3.90 to $4 is going to be a big area right there. So that's something that we're going to need to be watching on the weekly. Let's get the RSI. These EMA 100 and the 50 are going to be down the road at about 650. So within a year, I see us going to test this EMA 50 50-week moving average. And once we get above this 50-week moving average, you can say that the bull run has started. That is when I would be like, okay, we're starting the bull run now. Once this 50 EMA on the weekly is broken, we have very big volume to move the RSI to the upside, then we will really start to see the price move back up to $10 and more. So that's what I'm looking at for the price of the internet computer in the short and long term. So let's get this RSI out. I'm going to tell you what price that the RSI is going to break out to what resistance level is right out here. So let's change this to the EMA 9. The 9-week moving average, which is going to be at $3.26. And that is going to move down as well with this downward trending slope line. If we do not start to recover and we hit resistance and continue to go sideways, then it's going to move that EMA down at 326, which will bring us, once we go back up to test that and break it, it's going to bring us back up to this RSI. It's going to move us about 2 points up on the RSI to test this. If we are able to break that 326, that would also confirm that we are going to break this level and possibly go up to the top of the wedge right around $3.90 to $4. So that is what I'm looking at for us to move to the upside. This double bottom, this falling wedge pattern on the weekly, this massive falling wedge pattern, which could bring us all the way back up. I would probably just put it right here to $9. So that is what I'm looking at for the short and the long term, is to go down or go sideways or break out. But I don't think we're going to break this level. What I mean by go down, up, or side, yeah, those are all three of the things that it can do. But what I'm saying is if we go down, we're going to hit this support and then go back up and test 304 again. So that, and then, you know, if we break out, like I said, then we have those other things that will connect and move up with the volume. Like I said, 25, you know, a day, or like a 30 to 50 million volume a day. Once we get up to about $3.26, or if it moves down to about 317, if we're on the next week, and this EMA on the weekly moves down as well. That'll bring the breakout level lower, but it could also bring the resistance level, because that is the resistance level. If we get rejected, that could send us back down. So we have to keep an eye on it. I'm thinking it's more bullish right now because we are at a clear bottom. We are basically oversold still. We're down at 35, and anything under 30 is absolutely oversold. So we're going to start seeing buying pressure come out, and those are all the things that we want to see in the future. So let's look at a smaller time frame for right now. Let's get the hour going. So we are looking for ascending triangles. We're looking for double bottoms. We're looking for anything that could kind of give us a clear move to the upside on the shorter term, so that we can move on to the longer term time frames. So I would say we do have an ascending triangle right here, which could be a continuation pattern to the upside. Let's kind of straighten that out there. So yeah, this, if we break above, yeah, to 304, which would be good, which would send us up to this resistance level, which is where I would see this going. If we do break out, and if we break down, there's going to be some support at like 294, and then a bottom over here at 288 again is the level that I would watch for any breakout to the downside. Now, on the RSI on the 1 hour, we are overbought. So there's a lot of buying going on, big buying, and then people selling and then getting in real quick. It looks like we're gonna have a breakdown here. It does kind of look like a head and shoulders pattern on this particular RSI. So that could send us back down under this, which would kind of cool us off, which I don't understand why we are so overbought on the 1 hour. That is a little concerning to me to see that we're that overbought. But that's just on a small time frame. Let's look at the 4 hour. Yeah, so we did break out of the RSI, and as you see, once you break out of that RSI, it's a nice move to the upside. When you get stuck down below, which means that things could really start to take off here pretty soon. We are having some sell volume. We are going to need to cool down a little bit before we keep moving to the upside. Now in the 4 hour, it looks like we already have broken out of an ascending triangle type deal. Let's see here. I could even do it like that. And then so technically we have an ascending triangle breakout right here. And we have another ascending triangle up here, right here, and we've broken out of that as well. So if you look at that, we have this ascending triangle. This one would actually be like this. More like that. It's a longer one. So it could end up coming back down to 294 to test, unless we get this confirmed breakout right now, test that 304, bounce off of this, and then have some support and upward trending support. If that breaks, then we go down to 298, and then this one to 296. So we're going to have a lot of support going forward. So that's a pretty interesting thing to see on the 4 hour. We're not super overbought, which is another good thing on the 4 hour. Now I want to look at the daily, and we're going to call it a day. We'll take some questions and stuff first over in the chat, but yeah. So the daily, man, we do. I mean, there is a falling wedge on the daily. I would actually take it from right here over to there. Oh, no, we have a descending triangle. That's not good. So let me move this. Dang, I thought we were going to have like a falling wedge, but that's straight across right there. That's not good. Not good, but that, I mean, we have a lot of bullish patterns, so one bearish pattern isn't going to be the end. We do have a descending triangle on the daily, but we have the double bottom. We have a lot of good things on the weekly. We are testing resistance right here. So we're going to need volume to move out, but we're at 44 right now. So we're kind of a ways from it. And on the hour, we're kind of overbought. So those are the things you got to look at. I think we're going to see more sideways action with everything that I'm seeing with the bullish and bearish charts at the same. Oh my God, dude. How did it? Dang it. That really sucks. Ugh. So anyway, here's the descending triangle. I'm just going to go over everything that I talked about real quick. Descending triangle right here on the daily. It kind of goes all the way back. Could be bearish. Will send us back to 288. That's unfortunate that happened. 16 million in volume. I hate it when that happens. It's my biggest pet peeve. So, but I do want to show you the weekly where our bullish news is. Our double bottom over here. Gosh, that sucks. Yeah, so we have this W. We also have this falling wedge right here on the weekly, which will, like I said, bring us hopefully back up to that 326 where that EMA 9 is. And then go to the top of the wedge. There will be some big resistance between $3.90 and $4. So I will put another line right there just so you can see that box area of resistance right there. That is going to go all the way back here and then over here too. So those are big areas that I'm watching. If the W plays out and the falling wedge does and we get rejected, we're probably going to get rejected at 362 or 390 to $4. Now, if this RSI goes up, right? So that's going to be the big thing with this pattern and why we will go up to 360 or $4, in my opinion, not financial advice, is because of this RSI being so close to this simple moving average, which is the 14-day RSI moving average, which basically gives an average cost of the volume going in to the volume going out as support and resistance for this line, where this line, the volume is here. Once we're above this line, that means we're starting to have enough volume to move to the upside. When we're below it, there is not enough volume to break out. So what we need is a clear breakout with volume, like $30 million, like I was saying, or more, right when we get up to about 333. Or 326, wherever that level is, from 325 to like 335, let's say, is going to be another important area with volume to break out. Then we do go to the top of the wedge, or at least $4. I don't think it's going to stop us at 360 unless there's some massive like sell volume happening after the pump, people taking profits. Why would you do that so soon though? You have to pay crazy taxes and all that. So unfortunately, that's the deal. So I'm just going to go over the 1 hour again, just to show you, we do have an ascending triangle on the 1 hour right here. So let me do this again. I erased that. So we have that. Then we also have this upward trending support line right here that can bring us all the way out. And if we break out of this, we go to 304, then if we get some volume on the RSI, but it looks like on the 1 hour, we also are overbought at this level. So those are the things that we need to see. And I'm sorry about the screen again. That's my bad. So yeah, see, that's what happens when I turn my phone thing off. That's why I always have it on my phone. I'll always have the chat on my phone so I can see if I'm doing stuff like that. But okay, my bad. Okay, all I want to know is when Lambo body Blu-ray. No, when Lambo. I never will buy a Lambo. Never. I would rather donate the money or yeah, sorry about that. But I mean, you guys, even me just talking about that, you can see what's going on, everything. So I will do another chart video, go over more detail, but basically what I'm saying is our price, this is the important part, right? You don't have to see me do the charts. What is going to happen is we are either going to get more volume and continue moving to the upside after the 1 hour kind of cools off. And then we will see if we can get enough volume to break that RSI. Then if we do, we start moving to the upside and people start making profit. So that's what I want to see. My price prediction in the next year is going to be about $7 to $9, let's just say $7 to $10 within a year from right now. Then the bull market, gets started. We move up to $15, $16 is going to be a big area of resistance, about 22 to 25. And then we start talking about the $40, $60 ICP. So we're going to give a Lambo away. No, that I would give like the money of a Lambo away, because the Lambo is very impractical. So, all right, I think that's all we're going to have for today. I really recommend the first part of this video. It really kind of helps understand what Web3 is doing. We look at the price just to get an idea of where this technology's governance token can take us. We are in this to make money, but it's mainly about the tech for me. It's mainly about, the evolution of gaming, the evolution of entrepreneurship in owning your own company on a Web3 service that is decentralized, that you can turn over to a DAO, have the code run it, and the community run it through governance, right? And that's the future. It takes democracy to a new level, and eventually we're going to vote that way. We're going to move most of our digital goods that way. You know, there's still going to be a market out there for other things, right? We still have taxi cabs, but they're not going to be the forefront because they won't be as trusted, they won't be as protected, in those kind of things. So look for 330, look 326 to 330, look for volume, look for that weekly RSI, and all you have to do is go to TradingView ICP USDT. You can figure that out on there. Just kind of look at it. Go to the indicators, put up RSI, just the regular relative strength index, and you will be good. You can look at that on the weekly and you can tell, okay, is ICP going to be bullish right now, or is it bearish? Is it under that yellow line, or is it above it? And that's the easiest way on the weekly to know where the price is going right that moment. We're going to be bearish until we break that RSI, period. I'm going to let you know, why is ICP price down? We need to break that. All the things that led to that you already know from my previous videos, but right now that is our big resistance. And it's lined up perfectly with the EMA 9 on the weekly too. So I'm gonna let you know, most likely if we break that EMA 9, we're gonna get above that RSI, start moving bullish. And now if we test it, move back down, or that EMA moves lower, then it could be under the RSI. And if we don't break it and like move to the upside in a way, then it might not. But for the most part, it's gonna happen. So, all right, guys, that being said, goodbye and good ICP.